Good morning and good afternoon, all depending on where you're located at, West Coast, East Coast, or somewhere in between, like I am here in the Midwest. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope all of you have had a great start to crushing your 2026 goals. It's Friday. Everyone knows it's my best day, it's my happiest day. And as you can tell, I'm still under the weather. So I'm still pushing through that. I know you're not supposed to be talking when you have things in your mouth, but I've got cough drops, throat spray, cough, everything, all trying to contain this devil's cough. Welcome to Creating Opportunities. I'm your host, Bill Haga, Executive Loan Officer with Rocket Mortgage Local. I always stress local due to my local pricing being 1% to 1.25% better than our call center in Detroit, Michigan. For example, on a $500,000 purchase, that's a savings of over $5,000 for your clients. So that's huge. I mean, that's a pretty substantial amount of money in today's society when everyone's trying to come up with down payments, funds to close, right? Everything that's necessary for the purchase process to be completed. Today's agenda is going to be short and sweet. I'm going to talk about my trip to Detroit. Um, Also on the list, thank you for everyone that's reached out by text or by phone call, checking on her daughter. I'll give you an update on her and, of course, my sickness. And then we've got a huge promo that's started yesterday morning at 8 a.m. that we'll definitely be going over. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into it. The trip to Detroit was absolutely amazing. My lands, it was freezing though. I mean, the weather wasn't cooperating. It was windy, super cold, but wow, the 13 some thousand of us definitely came into the city and warmed it up. So Rocket flew all of us local executive loan officers to Detroit to a meeting that was deemed seismic to discuss how we killed everything in 2025 per our numbers and how we're going to be even bigger and better in 2026 with even more expectations. But I'm just here to say it was simply amazing. It put us up in the Hollywood casino um, and brought the majority of our continually growing purchase monster house, if you will. Bay Equity was there. We had some parts of Redfin, parts of um, Mr. Cooper, and pretty much everyone who supports, our channel. So it was one amazing to see that many people. We filled the Little Caesar Arena, packed that thing. Special guest. I don't know if you ever heard of Steve Aoki. He's a famous DJ out of Miami. He was there, and then what was kind of cool at the end of his shows, he has a cake throwing piece. So he has these huge sheet cakes, and people were standing in front of him, his fans, and he's just bombarding them with this cake, different cakes, right? He had, I don't know, probably 30 cakes he ended up throwing. But that was something I wasn't expecting. Completely out of left field for me. I thought it was funny. But that was Steve Aoki, his performance. Once he finished, then another one of my favorite, a Detroit native, a hip hop legend, Eminem. Eminem performed for us. Crazy. My lands. If you haven't seen Eminem in concert, that was just a smidget of it. Incredible. Absolutely crazy. So, how awesome is that, right? Your company flies you to Detroit, puts you up in a hotel, all expenses paid, huge meeting talking about how well we did in 2025, how we're now moving into phase three of our master five-layer plan, take over and continue dominating this market from a mortgage perspective. And it's just, I don't know, it was just mind blowing. I've been with the company going on 3 years in June. Snoop Dogg performed, Lil Wayne, and now Eminem. I've been to several company meetings, and there ain't a one of them that compare. Not a one. Not a single one. Mind you, as a store manager for Lowe's, I've worked for a number of different companies. I've seen a lot, but hands down, most impressive thing ever. Um, Even had some tear jerking moments within the meeting. I'm not going to give that away because I'm assuming that's probably going to be a commercial coming soon. But my main takeaway from the meeting was Rocket's mentality is that it's our mission to do everything we possibly can do to help everyone home. That's from adding more programs, right? We're now adding city, state, county, whatever, down payment assistance programs. We're coming in, adding more programs, right? We've got USDA coming out. We've got Builder Forward programs coming out. We just came out with the DSCR program, the number one investor program. We're backfilling everything that we can program wise to make sure that we're a full menu. And I say full menu as we've got a little bit over here all the way through here, right? When you open up a menu, you want to see everything that's available. We're trying to bring everything that we can to the table and make it available for all of our buyers. Okay. So our entire culture believes that everyone who wants to be a homeowner should be a homeowner. And we're doing everything that we are been saying that we're going to do. We're now doing it. And our numbers speak highly. I mean, crushing it. I can't even explain how crushing it that is. So the next thing on the agenda, I want to thank everybody for all your phone calls and text messages asking how our daughter's been doing. Our daughter McKinley's 11, and she broke her right forearm on 12/27, just a couple days after Christmas, playing indoor soccer. She's tough. She's aggressive. Girl power. I'm a girl dad, so I'm all about it. Like I said, she is tougher than nails, and she ended up getting pushed. And as she was falling back, she put her hands behind her and ended up breaking both arms and her wrist, her right arm. And so we've uh, we've been to the Cincinnati orthopedic a number of times now. So she after having three resets, right? So she breaks it, gets put in a cast. They call us back a week later because she's still having pains. We get another X-ray, find out the bone slipped. So now we have to cut that cast off, reset it, get it back in line. Tons of pain she went through just for that, and then another cast. So she's been through that three times. Um, Yesterday was the visit with the surgeon. I mean, you know, it's been, almost a month or over a month. So it's time to figure out a game plan for this arm. So no surgeries needed. Thank God, she still got some time to grow. Apparently, her bones are smart and they do everything they do to grow straight. So, based off of that, she shouldn't lose any kind of movement or anything within her hand or her wrist or her arm. The cast is pretty cool. I didn't even know that they have waterproof cast. Something that didn't didn't definitely wasn't around in my day. And apparently, this cast has to get wet all the time, like every day. It has to be ran underwater, inside and out, to prevent this thin layer of whatever it is making it what it makes it sticking to her arm. Once that happens, then it's like peeling a band-aid off. Sometimes that sticks, peeling hair and everything else. So thank God it was a super long day, but at the end of it, we avoided surgery. We got back late yesterday evening, as it's every bit of a 2-hour hike there. Then you're going downtown Cincinnati, and the traffic is just horrendous. I mean, it's like, coming out of Chicago at 4 o'clock on a Friday. You're just going to sit there. That's pretty much what that was. But great news, um, with her scenario. That all worked out great. For me, um, flying to Detroit, coming back, being, airport exposed and everything, I ended up catching COVID for the seventh time and pushing through the last part of it. That's why today is going to be kind of short and sweet. It's really my first day back talking, and I know that eventually it's going to make me start coughing again. And trust me, I say this cough comes straight from the devil. That's how bad it is. So, a little less talking on my part. Let's get to this promo. This promo is huge. All right. Once again, I've never seen a company come out and do these things like Rocket. We truly lead the industry, and we have tons of eyes on us as we're, progressing in playing out our playbook based off of, the 5 steps that we are creating to make us great. So, the countdown. So, welcome to our Super Bowl savings promotion. It truly started yesterday, 2/5 at 8 a.m., and it will run through Sunday, 2/11. The countdown to the big game is on, but the winning play could be at your front door. Rocket Mortgage is offering a special promotion we're cheering for. If you've been waiting for the right moment, this might be it. Here's the play by play: new purchases and new refinances. So we have them both on the list. Okay. Will receive a credit at closing equal to 0.75% of the loan amount. Yep. You must apply and lock your loan between February 5th and February 11th to take advantage of this promotion. This offer is available on selected loan types only. Reach out if you're ready to take the next step or would like to know more. I'm here to answer any questions, walk you through any options. Don't forget to watch for Rockets 2026 Super Bowl commercial on Sunday. If you remember, in 2025, that Super Bowl, we had the whole stadium singing along with us. That was, we made history that day. That was pretty impressive. So that's huge. So I know we throw out percentages, and I'm feeling like my marketing department right now. We're a numbers industry, not words, right? So in my higher end markets, like in California, on a $950,000 purchase, let's just say this buyer's only putting 5% down, takes a loan amount up to 902,500. You multiply that by 75 basis points, and that's over a $6,700 lender credit. That's huge. Who wants to save 6,700 bucks? Billy Haga does every single time. Sign me up, right? So on a $750,000 purchase, which is 5% down, that loan amount's $712,500. Okay, you multiply that by 0.75%, that's over a $5,000 savings. In some of my mid to lower markets, and let's drop down to a $500,000 purchase with 5% down. That's a loan amount of 475 at 75 basis points. That's over a $3,500 credit, right? 3,500 bucks is nothing to sneeze at or cough at. In my case, that's huge, right? For a $250,000 purchase, which is 3% down, that's a loan amount of 242,500. Multiply it by that 75 basis points, and that's over an $1,800 credit. Okay, Rocket just giving money away. This is lender. This isn't a grant. This isn't anything other than Rocket giving away money to help our clients find their way home. That's it. It's the only reason. Okay. The thing is, it's not limited. So it isn't like they're setting, $5 million over in this account. And once it's exhausted, oh, we'll look at it again next year. No, this is every day us doing what a company should do in all markets to help everyone get out of a rent trap, right? We can't stand it. So, who do you have actively looking right now? All right. So now I want you to start thinking of your clients, right? Who can benefit from a lender credit almost 1%, almost 1%. So if you've got anyone who's currently looking right now, remember we pull a soft credit report. So whatever they have in play now, they look somewhere else. Let me pull credit. Let me see what we can do on our side with our programs and our promo. And it won't even affect the deal they currently have, right? That they've already been pre-approved for, which is great. Okay. Second opinions are great at times, especially if you've got somebody like Rocket who's throwing specials and promos and coming up with different things all the time. Okay. So I definitely want you to refer those clients to me. Let's get them in a position. Let's get them in the game and let's figure out what we need to do for them. Okay. Um, who do you have that's kind of fallen off? Need some good news to ignite their excitement and gets them up looking for their next home or their first home, right? We all have those clients. Who do you have that was pre approved last year but didn't close? Perfect candidates. Okay, perfect. Let's talk about the refinances, right? So if you've had a client who closed, I would say in the last 3 years, great candidates for a refinance. Before COVID, and those years, that should be pretty good too, because rates were high. The only reason why, rates dropped was because of COVID. Remember, rates were here. They went all the way down to like 2%, 2.25%. No, it was because of COVID. So prior to COVID, after COVID, these are great. These are great plays for us. Okay. Mind you, these new conversations, right? This generates new conversations. New conversations bring up more information. Great time to ask for referrals, right? They got friends, family, coworkers, and they know their situation and what's going on with them, um, their own situation. How can we improve them? But let's get the phones ringing. Let's uh, let's get some past clients on the phone, and let's see what we can do about improving their current situation. Okay, that's huge. I mean, if you're refinancing and you're saving, $100 to $200, people go, well, that's not much of a savings. Well, if you take that savings, if it's not that big of a deal, that means you don't need to save that money. So if it's not a big deal, take that savings, apply it to your principal each month, and see how many years you can cut off your mortgage, right? Normally a couple $100 to cut off 5 to 7 years, maybe even 10 years, depending on what your balance is and things of that nature. So every scenario is different, right? Everyone's got a different rate, different loan amount. They owe different amounts. Their debt's different, right? So every scenario, I want to see. I want to see what I can do to help, right? We're in the helping business. We're in the education business, right? That's what we do, right? We've all been deemed the educator in our local markets. We're the go-tos. So continue being that for your local market. Help me get this word out. I know Mary's emailed it all out to everybody, so you should have it. If you don't have it, please text in the box um, Super Bowl savings, right? Type in Super Bowl savings and we'll get the information out to you. Okay? That's all I have for you today. Like I said, I'm coming back from being really sick. Trying not to let the devil's cough come back into play here and kind of wrap this up a little bit. But please help spread the word about our Super Bowl savings. I will have my phone on and laptop all weekend. So together, let's see how many clients we can get in the game mode and ready to find their next home. Let's get them verified approved, right? Verified approved, not pre-approved. I think pre-approved's a past comment statement for me. Everything is going to be verified approved from this point on because we're now submitting all of our clients prior to going to contract into our underwriting for a full underwriting review and underwrite for that particular client, right? That's what's allowing us to close in 15 to 20 days versus 20 to 30 days. That's now just under a cash offer because that client's been underwritten. If you're looking at pre-approvals from a loan officer, that means that client hasn't been underwritten by an underwriter, right? So they fall below our offer based off of, cash, verified, and pre-approved. So let's go get them this weekend. We've got a lot of opportunities, a lot of people to contact, right? I've got a whole slew of people I need to reach out to. So I'm definitely going to be on the phones, making those contacts as well. Mind you, I'm going to have probably some clients who should be available. I should have, I'm not even going to give a number, but I should have some opportunity to pass out as well. So let's work hard this weekend. Like I said, I'll have my laptop and phone on all weekend. Um, let's get them all verified, approved, and under contract. All right. Good luck to everybody this weekend. Let's make it an awesome weekend. And let's see how many people that we can help. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you. Bye bye.